Hey friends, welcome to the Johnson City Living Podcast, where we learn about the people, places, events, and flavors that make Johnson City a lovely place to live. I'm your host, Colin Johnson, with the Colin and Carly Group and Keller Williams Realty. And it is a gorgeous February day. It's like going to be 65 degrees. I don't think we know what's going on right now because there are flowers blooming, trees are blooming. It feels like spring and it's February. But that's okay because the Lord's in charge. And so I'm excited for you guys to meet Meredith Copp with Roan and Laurie and a local artist, Laurie Norris. So thanks for coming on the podcast, guys. How are you all this morning?
Good. Doing great.
Thanks for having us.
Oh, well.
Yay.
So for people listening, my wife, Carly, loves Meredith Copp. She's like her best friend, she says, and she just adores you. And so you're in great company. Thank you for coming on the podcast, best friend of Carly. I'm excited to hang out with you.
Well, next to Carly, I guess you're second best.
So tell us a little bit. First, Johnson City Living. I'm going to hit you both. Like, what is your favorite thing, Laurie, about Johnson City?
Oh, wow. Probably the small town feel. We lived in Kingsport for about 20-something years, and so we moved here about 3 or 4 years ago.
Gotcha.
And it's a great combination of a little bit of culture and, you know, great restaurants and active downtown, but you still get that small town feeling with good people.
Yeah, it is special. Miss Meredith, what's your favorite thing about Johnson City?
Well, I grew up in Georgia, and I moved to Johnson City right in time for high school, which is where I met my high school sweetheart and husband of 22 years. So I kind of love Johnson City just because
So Kent is your favorite thing in Johnson City?
He's the best thing about Johnson City.
Scoring some big-time brownie points. It is February, the month of love, so I'm glad you guys are
Last
still
day,
in love.
got it in.
That's awesome. Okay, so you grew up in Georgia, grew up, we'll use lightly, and then moved here. And so how long have you been at Johnson City again now?
A long time. So at some point, I have to transition and say that I'm officially from, I don't know where the line is to say you're officially from Johnson City.
Yes.
But I've been here since the big snow of 93. So it's been long enough.
Yeah, that's good.
Is that 30 years?
It's close, yeah.
That's
this
30
year.
years.
Yeah, it's probably snowed in February.
It
could be
snowed
30
spring break of.
It's almost 30 years to the day. That's amazing. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
But we know your heart's still kind of Georgian. If you ever go to her parents' house for a Georgia football game, it will change your life. So go.
Where in Georgia did you grow up?
Carrollton.
Okay, because I grew up in Atlanta.
Oh, look at this. We're making Georgia friends.
There you go.
So you grew up in Atlanta.
Johnson City.
Is that where in Johnson City? Johnson City, Georgia Living Podcast. So you grew up in Atlanta, and then how did you make it to Kingsport?
A little bit of a roundabout way. So after I got married, my husband and I moved we lived in Athens for a while because we were both in graduate school there. And then after that, we moved to Richmond, Virginia, where he got his first big job, you know.
Oh, cool.
That was a big move, and we started our family there.
Awesome.
And then we moved to Kingsport, and we're there and raised our family there.
Nice.
And then recently moved to Johnson City, like I said, about 4 years ago.
Well, full circle. I have a brother born in Athens with my parents. My dad was doing his postdoc work there, and so look at that. It's all Georgia. We're all Georgia fans here. So I lived there 4 years. I think I was little. I grew up here when I got here. I was 5. Okay, so I'm going to transition to Robbins on Roan. You are the owner of a little establishment on Roan Street.
Hence the name.
Hence the name, and it's got 2 birds on the roof.
They're robins.
They're permanent.
Yes.
And they're huge.
They're huge.
And they're cool.
They are. They're like a mini landmark. They're
are
like, now where is your shop? And I say, it's on Roan. It has robins on the roof.
Is that where the name came from?
Well, the original owner, her name is Robin.
Right.
So she had the robins put on. And so then when I bought the shop, the question was, do you change the name? No, I dropped an apostrophe.
Meredith on Roan doesn't sound
It doesn't.
Right.
I
like it.
Life-size version of myself on the roof felt a little weird. So we left the birds, we left the name, and yeah.
Gotcha. Yeah. So maybe in the future there could be a wooden Meredith up there someday. No,
never.
not going to happen. You're sticking with Robbins on Roan.
Yeah.
Did you grow up wishing to own a framing shop?
No, I did not. Funny enough, that wasn't a long time goal. But I did go to college and majored. I had my degrees in interior design. And full circle, when I was in college, one of my professors was Martha Mays. And if you've been in Johnson City, she was like an interior design powerhouse.
Oh.
And her studio was where the shop is now.
Really?
And she had us do student study days, and she would have us come to the shop, and our studying was just cleaning up the shop and organizing her wallpaper.
Get out. So you worked in that shop in college.
In college.
And then a few years later, because
Just a
you're
few.
still like 28,
Yes.
so probably 5 years later, you wind up buying the shop
Yes.
and you're living there. Or living there.
I don't
working
live there, yeah.
You just live down the street.
I live near there, but yeah.
Yes, you do live near there. Well, that's cool.
Yeah.
When did the Lord say, hey, I'm hooking you up with a shop you used to work in? Like, did you realize that when you were getting ready to buy it, or like you
Well,
had the
so
thought?
I have always done hands-on artsy things since I've been a full-time parent since I've had kids. And I started designing earrings in during COVID, and I sell them to lots of local shops.
Yep.
Boomtown, Mill Spring and Jonesboro. Yeah. Robbins on Roan.
So you went in there.
And one day I went to restock my earrings, and Robin was like, hey, you should buy my shop. And I said, hey, let's see if I like it. And it is just enough interior design. It gets my like creative juices going. I shadowed her for several months. She did my, what's it called?
Training?
Apprenticeship.
Apprenticeship?
Yes.
Framing.
And I really like the process of framing. It's very
What's your
methodical.
favorite part about framing? Because people,
designing. Like the favorite part is working with,
you don't like cutting the frames.
well, I like doing it, but the best part is meeting with the clients and seeing what they bring in. We also have tons of artists, local artists that we get to meet and be exposed to. So yeah, seeing what walks in the door, that's my favorite part because you never know.
You just never know.
You never know.
What's the craziest thing you've framed?
Well, okay, so the craziest thing was probably a used cigar, a half-smoked cigar from the UT. What was the big UT win this year?
They beat Alabama.
Alabama. It was from UT Alabama.
Yes.
He brought
We
in
were all excited
a
about that.
smoked cigar.
Like half of it.
Yep, I'm assuming it was a good, I don't know how far you smoked down a cigar, but it was like this much left.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For our listeners,
and
it's
I framed
about
it.
4 inches long. It's probably
How
half.
far do you smoke down?
Half
Anyway, it was for his dad because his dad had been smoking the cigar at the game. They were there. It was a big win.
And his son had the wherewithal to say, hey, I'm going to pick this up
Yes.
because it's going to be sentimental.
Yes,
And
so
his
for-
dad must be a huge Vols fan.
Yes. They'd been going to games for years, and this was a big deal. So,
I think, didn't UT beat Georgia this year?
no.
I think so. Yeah.
I 100% think that is
I think
wrong.
we'll have to get Mitch. Can you get online and find
It was a win. We were undefeated for 2 years.
That's true. You did. I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, going back, and you were the national champions. So that's awesome.
I know.
Georgia's kicking butt. Okay. Enough of you and Robin's own run. Let's get to Miss Laurie. So tell me about artists, like your passion for art. And there's 4,000 different ways to express yourself artistically. How do you choose to
Well, it's kind of evolved over the years. And like Meredith, I've always kind of done something. I started out in art and design and ended up in education. But while I was teaching art, I also did a lot on the side, and I did everything from pottery to jewelry making to painting. I would do little art shows around towns and travel a little bit. But more recently, I've just gotten into the painting, and it could be just because I have the time and, our kids are gone, and, it's just kind of, I've got a little bit of a, push under my wings, I guess you could say. So I've really enjoyed it and kind of dived right in and had a lot of fun with it. So
That's awesome.
that's how I've ended up with the oil painting.
tell me where you said your kids are going. Where are they in the world?
Oh, they are all over the place. We have two sons and a daughter, and the two boys are out in Utah. They live in Salt Lake City area. And our daughter just recently moved to Australia.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, she's a big adventurer, so
That's cool.
she moved in January. She'll be there for about a year.
Neat. Now, as a child, did you realize, like I did, that I drew a stick figure for a person, and I'm not very good at the art? And so, did you like just realize, hey, I've got a little talent here? Like,
I don't think I realized it, but I always enjoyed it. I was surrounded by it. My father was in design. My brothers and sisters all ended up in some kind of design field. So I think I was just always around it, and I never thought that this is a talent or anything like that. I just enjoyed it.
do you feel like, and this is just me riffing a little bit, but do you feel, I think we all have some sort of artistic ability in us, like whether it's putting a pillow on a couch that looks pretty or whatever it might be, or, a color on a wall or seeing something. I think we're in tune with that on some level. Would you agree, or like, do you feel like, because I know I can't draw, but I can see a house and go, okay, we could rip this wall out and put a new kitchen in and like do that kind of stuff. And that, I feel
yeah.
like that's a expression there, or a frame for Meredith. She can,
Definitely. Everyone has something. And I think you know it when it makes you feel good and it seems right. Like you might put a great outfit together, or, or like you said, can envision what a remodel might look like in a home or something like that. So
yeah, I think a lot of people maybe were told, oh, you can't draw, Colin. Like those are stick figures. Can you draw, Meredith? Are you able to draw?
I wish I could. I really wish I could.
Yeah.
But okay, I even thought, like, is that something you can develop over time? But I just don't feel like my daughter is very, like, she's always been instinctually, like, she's just good at it.
Yeah, it's frustrating.
It is. It's so frustrating.
My mother is a wonderful artist. She does watercolors and can draw, and she's just great. And I'm like, I cannot do it. I can draw trees.
I think that, it definitely is an innate characteristic, but it's also a skill that you can hone and continue to get better. But if it doesn't bring you joy, then
If it only brings you
find,
frustration.
That's
something
right.
else.
Don't do it anymore. Yes, life's too short if it's just frustrating.
Right.
So tell us about how you honed your skills and how you grew up in the art world, and how did you get to where you are?
Yeah, I think just always doing something, always, I had like a furniture design business for a while, hand-painted furniture, so I was into that. Like I said, jewelry making, so I was always doing something that was creative, used my creative mind, used some kind of skills. I didn't always maybe sketch or anything like some artists do. I do now for my paintings, but hadn't always, kept a journaling sketchbook or anything like that. But I think just always doing something.
Yeah, not being afraid just to
Just try something new. Yeah.
like, oh, it's not going to be perfect. It'll be fine. We'll figure it out. Or it's not great at all. We'll just start all over. It's not a big deal. Are you able to sculpt too?
I used to do a little bit of hand building.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Like sculptors just blow me away. I mean, you'll go to, and see these unbelievable sculptures. I'm like, that is just amazing on how people do that. And then back in the day, they did it out of marble, and it's all perfect. And that's nuts. I think our phones are distracting us now, because I think there would be a lot
It
more.
probably would.
I mean, how much energy you could probably sculpt something.
Instead of
Meredith, if you
watching
didn't have
other people
Right.
do it, if we just
If you just get off TikTok, you could have sculptures of yourself on your building with the robins,
I wish I
watching
could.
over them, feeding them. This is so much fun. Okay, so you're doing painting now, and so I got to see. By the way, I went into Robin's on Roan yesterday with Carly, and your shop is fantastic.
Thank you.
I mean, it is beautiful.
Thank
I
you.
was just blown away with it. You guys, if you're listening, you need to swing by, check out the Robins, go in, check out all the things there. So tell us a little bit about your shop, and because it's not just art, it's not just framing. You have all kinds of stuff in there.
So there's the gallery and shop. And so we have all of our art is local artists. And then we have handmade goods. So we have jewelry, we have leather goods, we have handmade cards. So it's all focused on just the local talent in this area, because we have a ton of talent in this
we
area.
do.
We really do. So we really focus on that. So the gallery and shop, it's pretty and it smells good.
It smells great.
You can always get a really unique gift. So if you're just looking for something unique, that's the shop. And then we have the framing.
Yeah.
gallery. So
Is the framing kind of the main driver of revenue for you?
yes. The framing allows us to have the shop. The shop is, yeah. The framing is the mainstay. So, but then people come in the shop and be like, "Oh, you frame."
Yeah.
I've been looking for a framer, and they're all of a sudden they're like, "What can I frame?"
Right.
And then people come in to frame, and they're like, "Oh my word, you have gorgeous art." And I'm like, "They're local artists," and da da da. So they go hand in hand.
It's awesome.
They feed each other,
Yeah.
like me feeding the birds.
You're out feeding your robins. That's
Yeah.
right. They're feeding each other. Look at that. Um, this is so much fun. Okay, so you're having an open house at your place. It's this Friday.
This Friday,
Like, I think
the
we're
3rd,
getting this
March
released
3rd.
today. Released like if you're listening to the podcast, it's today. It's March 3rd.
Yes, this evening.
This evening.
Yes.
What time?
4 to 6. It's going to be a meet and greet, so you can meet Laurie,
And she is a lovely person, so you should go run and see her
see all of her art.
and all of her art. I got to see it yesterday. It is beautiful. It's really
you.
cool. What inspired this kind of? I mean, because there's like I guess a feel to it all. What kind of inspired you recently with your paintings?
I don't know. I just kind of go with what feels right. I started painting again about a year and a half ago, so it's evolved over the year. I started out rough, like you do when you've been off the horse for a while, I guess you could say, and so it took me a year to kind of get warmed up, but I feel like I'm getting a little bit in a groove now. So,
That's cool.
but I just do what feels right, what I like.
Tell the listeners a little bit about some of the art that if they were to come in tonight to Robin's on Roan, what they would be seeing.
Well, most of the artwork that I do is, I would maybe call it kind of contemporary still life. It's bright and bold and a lot of kind of close-up of fruits and patterns and bold, bright colors. So
Yeah, it was neat, and I mentioned like a Warhol kind of feel to it. I thought it was really cool. So definitely come and check it out. How long is the open house going to be, Meredith, again?
It's from 4 to 6.
4 to 6.
Yes, we'll have beverages and snacks, and
Can anybody come?
anybody can come. Everybody is welcome.
Everybody?
Everybody.
Awesome. Well, you heard that here. Okay. So let's talk about something. Are you working on anything else besides just these paintings currently? Or do you have any other media that you're kind of like, oh, I want to explore this in the future? Or
no, I've been just mainly working on the paintings. I have dabbled a little recently in fabric design,
oh,
so something
cool.
I'm kind of playing around with, see what happens
I don't
there.
even know how you could design fabric. That's pretty.
Like designing the patterns for fabrics.
Yes.
So would you?
I love that. Wallpaper too. Will you
Yes,
do wallpaper
yes.
too? We're going to do a collaborative.
I like this.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's talk about how that process even happens. Like, do you paint something and then you hand it to somebody and they like say, okay, we're going to digitally image this and put it into fabric, or how does that even work?
Actually, it's funny. I took a pattern making course in the fall. So my real job that I do during the day is I'm a designer for an ed tech company.
Oh,
So I do a lot of design, kind of digital design for online, and so I'm kind of combining those two skills. And so what I do is I'll paint something, I'll scan it into the computer and vectorize it and make a pattern out of it.
that's cool.
Yep. So it's been really fun.
I wonder how they had to do it like years ago, like before we even.
It's all like screen, like,
Yeah.
like
Is that how they did it?
Yeah.
Like an Hermes scarf or something, like that's got some crazy pattern on it. I don't even know how they used to, because they've been around for hundreds of years, right? And
Yeah, I can't imagine
how
because
you
the
do it.
process is easy now.
right, you just go, I
Yeah.
scan it in, vectorize it, push a button, and it 3D prints it, and there's made a dress. Look at me, look at me now. But yeah, so it's crazy to think about how things are evolving. And what do you see? Like, where's that going? Where would you put your fabric? And
I have no idea,
And
but I
Meredith's
just thought
wallpaper.
this would be kind of cool to combine these two things because I really enjoyed the pattern design. And I thought, well, maybe I can somehow incorporate my paintings into it.
oh yeah,
So playing around with it. We'll see. Like I said, see where it goes.
I like this.
Something new.
Norris Copp fabrics and wallpaper coming
there you
coming
go.
to you soon in a Target near you. That would be fun. Why would you want to decorate or like make wallpaper? What's inspiring about that for you, Mary?
I just love wallpaper. Oh my goodness, I love wallpaper.
I think it's really cool.
I every house I've owned, I've had one just really bold wallpaper. Even like when wallpaper hadn't made it swing back, I had this tiny little hallway with birds on the wallpaper.
Look at that.
So I love wallpaper. Yeah.
This
And I have seen some artists develop their own lines
Yeah.
and make it into some big stores, and that's a big deal.
Isn't that cool?
Yeah, I'm all about it. Go for it.
We'll talk more.
Okay.
I think we just had an inspiration here. That's pretty cool. I was at Lowe's 2 days ago looking at the two brothers that do flipping houses on HGTV or whatever. They had wallpaper that they had made. And now you just peel it off and stick it right on. It's not like you got
Rental friendly.
Yeah, and they said it comes off easily too, which I was like, that's cool, because we just had to pull some wallpaper off and it was on for like 20 years and it didn't come off easily. Okay, so what's the dream for Robin's on Roan? Is it going to get to be like a household name? You're going to have thousands of them. You're going to have to only like open up stores in like cities that have Roan streets.
No, I like keeping it small. I like the idea of just a concentration of local art and bringing people into the shop. And we have had so many new people to town come into the shop.
Yeah.
And so it's just been fun to meet people. So I would like to keep it it feels cozy now. And that's,
Small and intimate.
yeah.
Yeah, it is cozy. And I think you're a great connector of people and making friends. And so I could see that just being a
Yeah.
space where your friends come by and see you and get stuff
And
framed
even
buy.
client, like people who
buy Laurie's
I
art.
only know through the shop.
Yeah.
When they come back in, I'm like, oh, haven't seen you in a while.
Yeah.
What are we doing today?
Isn't that fun? I
Yeah,
think that's
it's so fun.
one of the best things about Johnson City. Because if you were in New York, you may never see the same person ever again.
No.
But here, we see everybody every day almost, because there's only like 20 people in Johnson City. Okay, so let's do a little speed round, fun round.
Okay.
If you're going to get a cup of coffee, and I got you one this morning, where would you go, Laurie?
I'd probably go to Open Doors because it's just right down from my house.
And Meredith?
I literally hate to say ditto, but
I
Ditto.
love Open
Ditto.
Doors. Well,
Yeah.
and we've had the Marians on the podcast.
Okay.
We love them a lot. So I got
June
the Scottish this morning because
It
it's
was-
close. Don't
it
tell
was
Mike I'm
very,
sure.
very yummy.
Okay. What is your favorite place to get a pizza? You can go first, Meredith.
Scratch, hands down. But they had a bumpy road since COVID, so
Are they
I'm
open?
really hoping they open back up this season because I miss Scratch.
Yeah.
I miss Scratch.
Maybe we could get Christian and Tyson to open it up.
Okay.
That'd be good. They make pizza. They could probably figure it out.
Okay.
How about a pizza for you?
Oh, that's a tough one because I love pizza anywhere. We used to love to go to Everyone's.
Oh, yeah.
It's closed up.
Everybody, yeah, everybody's pizza.
That,
It's
yeah,
didn't last
that was
long.
great. So yeah,
What
we don't have a
happened?
go-to now.
Do you know the story there?
Don't
Why?
know. Yeah.
They were from Asheville, and I think that they were hoping for I think they were from Asheville, so they didn't know the feel of Johnson City, so the location made it kind of awkward.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, but they had the best pizza.
They did have
They
that.
had really good pizza.
Okay. What's your favorite pizza, Meredith?
Literally Scratch.
Like, what are you going to get on it? Like, talk
Oh,
about
we would say trust.
the trust.
And they would just go to town.
And they're going to throw
They put mandarin oranges,
basil,
their-
garlic.
house cured pepperoni. I mean, just all of it.
It's crazy.
If you work at Scratch, bring it back.
Come on back,
If you're
Scratch.
out there.
That's right, just for Meredith. We used to walk down there every Sunday
yes.
and get a pizza.
See?
Oh yeah, I miss that.
Yeah, yeah. What is your favorite pizza topping?
I'm kind of a veggie girl. I like,
Okay.
Mushrooms, onions, artichokes,
I love
stuff.
artichoke.
Yeah. Spinach.
Okay, I like it. All right, let's say you guys are taking your husbands out on a date, since the ladies are here. Where are you going to go on date night, Laurie, with your husband?
Well, our favorite place recently is Timber.
Oh, yeah,
We love Timber.
That's fun.
So
Have you done the tent? Timber in a tent?
timber in a tent.
I don't know if they're still doing that. They did it
I don't
during
know.
COVID.
They were doing it during
was
COVID
awesome.
outside, yeah. How about you?
Cafe 111.
Cafe 111, okay. That was pretty definitive. Are you
All
like
day, every-
sushi or?
Well, I like the sushi, but if I'm going in the evening, and so I might get their pad thai.
Okay,
Sushi or pad thai.
gotcha. Okay, burgers. Just for the listeners who like to eat like Mitch and I do.
Timber has a really good burger.
It does. I haven't had their burger, but that sounds delicious. We just got tapas when we went last time. So, how about you for a burger?
Don't laugh.
You don't eat burgers?
Pal's Junior Burger.
Oh, yeah.
That's a good answer.
They're the best.
Cheese?
With cheese, of course.
Bacon? You can throw
Every
bacon
once in a
on.
while.
Yeah, I'm with you. Pal's is the best.
It really is.
It's unreal. Okay. All right. That was the speed round. What are you excited about this spring? What's coming up at the shop? What are you got going on besides having an awesome
Well,
artist?
I'm really excited about Laurie. Because her colors are so bright and bold and she does a lot of fruit. So I'm using her art as the inspiration to kind of launch the shop into spring. So we're just brightening it up. So we've got her and we do a featured artist that usually runs a month or two. So I like that. And then we're having a few Saturday events.
Cool.
Carly might be involved in
think
one of those.
This is happening, yes.
Yes. So I'm just excited. Just fun ways to bring the community.
Yeah, I'm excited too.
Yeah.
It'll be fun. Yeah, thanks for bringing Revived over there for
You're welcome.
Carly's Clothes.
You're welcome.
What are you excited about for spring, Miss Laurie?
Oh, probably the weather, which is getting me excited today, actually.
Isn't that nice?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love spring.
Yeah, I do too. It's one of my favorite seasons. Yeah. So, what didn't I ask you that you'd like to share with our audience, Meredith?
Oh, no. I don't know. What didn't you ask me?
What didn't I ask you? Let me see. Which is your favorite child? No, I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. Yeah, so how about this? How can our listeners connect with you?
Swing by the shop.
Swing by the shop. Are you on
Yes.
Instagram?
I'm on Instagram. Robin's on Roan JC.
Yeah.
On Instagram. We're on Facebook.
Are you on MySpace?
What?
You don't remember that?
Oh,
MySpace from like 20 years
No.
ago? Okay.
No.
I think it's coming back. I'm still holding on to my account. You
okay.
should know it's
Yeah.
coming back.
No, the best thing, just pop in the shop and say
Hop
hi.
in the shop,
Pop in the shop.
which we did yesterday, and
There
it's
you go.
awesome.
Yeah.
And it's a good distraction for you because you were just mid-frame and
There's
you're,
the upstairs like framing, and then there's the downstairs like
I didn't get to go upstairs and
socializing.
see the frame shop. That
Yeah.
would be fun to see.
Yeah, it's a mess.
I would probably like to work in that sometime.
Okay,
Just
come on.
volunteer.
It'd be fun to learn.
I need to
Love
finish
learn
her.
that.
I really do. I need to finish her. But,
Okay. I could probably do that.
okay.
Laurie, how can listeners connect with you? And do you have like a website where they can see your art and that kind of stuff?
I don't have a website, but I do have an Instagram account, l.norris.design.
Nice.
So they can go there and see my journey.
Uh-huh. I'm excited. I'm going to go check it out.
You should.
Yeah.
Your stuff is really cool.
And then there's an open house
There's an
today,
open house tonight from
from
4
4 to
6.
6 at the shop on Roan Street with the birds and Meredith and Laurie. It's going to be awesome.
Fruit, birds, like fruit in the art.
Fruit in
I
the
don't
art.
know if
To
I'll
eat.
have. Oh,
You could
we'll
get
have
some,
fruit to eat.
Yeah, there you go. Get some fruit to eat.
I'm hoping I have a girl in Kingsport that does pottery for us, and she's madly whipping out some berry bowls,
Ooh.
pottery to have in time to have berry bowls full of more fruit.
That's cool.
Yeah. So
Yeah. It is really a beautiful space. Like I was just blown away. And so, yeah, if you want to come find pottery and art and framing, then Robbins on Roan's your place. And so, yeah, thanks for making Johnson City better by having a great local shop and supporting local people like Laurie and coming on a podcast to support a local guy like me. I'm really excited for you and your venture.
you.
We're proud of you. Like Carly and I just drove away. I was like, that is just an awesome shop. So good job, Meredith.
Thank you.
Yeah, and your art is beautiful. So
Thank
hopefully
you.
you'll sell out on Friday and you'll have to just get busy.
That's what I told her. I was like, you might have to
Re-up.
Yeah.
Start painting.
That's right. Get busy.
Keep going.
Which is it. Like, and I just saw all your stuff. I was like, well, obviously she's a full-time artist, but I didn't realize you had another job. So we won't tell anybody.
Okay.
Keep it secret that she's got a side gig, side hustle making art. All right. For the last thing, what gets you fired up, Meredith?
Other than coffee
Other than coffee
and good weather
and good weather.
and good friends.
These are all things to be fired up about.
Okay, all of those.
All of those?
And my family.
And your
They
family.
either fire me up or whew.
Or fire you up. How about you, Laurie? What gets you fired up? What are you fired up about?
Coffee, family, friends, meeting new people like
Meeting new
you
people?
today. So this
Yes.
has been great.
This has been great and easy and fun. So Thank you all for coming on the podcast.
Thanks for having
Thank
us.
you guys
Thank you
for
for
listening. I enjoyed our conversation. I'm excited for the open house to just go fantastically, and it's just going to be a lot of fun. So I'm hoping Carly and I can come by there and see you again. So until next time, I'm Colin Johnson with the Colin and Carly Group and Keller Williams Realty. If you want to make a move to Johnson City, if you want to move from Kingsport just down the road to here, I would love to help you do that. I'm going to help some friends do that soon, so that's exciting. Or if you'd like to invest in real estate, we do it all. Top to bottom, we'll manage your property all the way through. Thanks again for listening. Please share the episode with somebody, and they'll get to meet Meredith and Laurie over it. So come see you on Robbins on Roan. Have a great day.